we can go ahead and get started. So my name is Reagan. I am a part of the Photo Day team. You often will find me in the bubble. I am the customer care team lead, but always chatting with studios. With me today is one of my favorites, Jake from J7. How are you, Jake?
Good morning. I'm good, Reagan. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving week.
It's always a pleasure. Always. I love doing these with you. This is part 3 of Jake's series, Portrait Mode. Part 1 and part 2 are already out. If you haven't seen those, they're up on the Photo Day YouTube channel, or you can hit up our support bubble. I'd be happy to send you those links if you wanted to check those out. Jake, you want to tell us a little bit what we're doing today?
Okay, so we did things a little bit different for part 3. Part 1 went really well. Part 2 was a little bit short, quick and to the point. We talked about decisions. Part 3, we actually decided, Wes and I decided at Photo Day, we decided to pre-record, and we pre-recorded part 3 yesterday to make sure that we get the maximum amount of information to you. I will be in the chat during the event, so I can answer any questions as I'm speaking. So if you think of a question while you're there, I'll be able to respond in real time. We'll also take questions. Reagan and I will come back on, and we'll be live at the end. So I just appreciate everybody dealing with that. I think it was a better way for me to get some points across. I'm going to sit here and listen and critique and take notes on myself so I can get better. And that's one of the things that we've got to do as photographers. And anything we do, we've got to get better every time we do it. And if we just sit on the bench and we never do anything, then we don't have anything to get better at. So I'm pretty excited to have you here today. Thank you for taking some time out of your Thanksgiving week. And hopefully we can teach you something and make you better. All right, welcome to episode 3 of the Portrait Mode. My name is Jake Carr. I'm a photographer, a volume sports photographer here near Chicago, and appreciate you taking some time to join us. We are going to go through things that are involving personal development. You know, you can be the greatest photographer in the world. You can have all these bookings, but if you're not a good person, if you're not in a good state of mind, it's not going to help you grow your business. The Portrait Mode is all about this. I believe that you deserve to have your portrait hung on the wall. A current portrait, not that picture from 10 years ago, but a current portrait hung on the wall. And in that portrait is the proof of all the things that you have accomplished. It is also a symbol of the self-worth and that you deserve all the things that are coming to you. And it's also a way to unlock your perpetual potential. Your portrait has the power to unlock that. I know, because I did this, and I wouldn't be standing before you if I hadn't hung my portrait on the wall. So I'm encouraging everybody, if you get nothing else, if you've only got 2 minutes for this particular round of Portrait Mode, have your portrait taken. You know plenty of photographers, and hang it on the wall and see if it helps you grow your business, your self-confidence, and your self-worth. Now, it is Thanksgiving week, which usually means we start decorating for the holidays. And typically I do not like hanging those lights outside. It's cold here in Chicago already. I don't like freezing my butt off to put the lights on the house, but I do have one favorite decoration, and I wanted to share that with you today. And let me plug it in here. No, it's not any kind of dancing reindeer or Santa Claus, but this is my Believe sign. And this hangs in the living room over Christmas. And if it were up to me, this would hang year round. Now, not only because of my love for Ted Lasso and the word believe and all the things that are associated with it, but I really think it sums up the holiday season. Now, if you have a minute, if you're not driving, if you're not on the treadmill, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think about being 8 years old, and I want to think about all the things that you believed in. You see, when we're a kid, we believe in just about anything. We believe that their possibilities are endless, that we can be anything that we want to be, that we can do anything that we want to do. And all we need to do is believe. We need a little bit of that back in our lives. Now, one of my favorite books is called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I'm going to sum up the 4 agreements here. We'll go through them kind of quick today to protect your attention and save some time here. But the first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. So that word impeccable, it's just a fancy word for watch what you say, watch what you tweet, watch what you post, you snap, those kinds of things. Your words are important and they have meanings. So the number one agreement that you need to make with yourself is you are going to watch what you say. Okay? That's the first agreement. The second agreement is do not take things personally. Now, we are all in this business of providing people, and not everybody likes every single image that we post on Photo Day. Photo Day has a wonderful NPS score up in the upper right-hand corner. It's where folks are allowed to give feedback for Photo Day, give feedback on your business. I download that once a week. I take a look at the comments. Luckily, our score is like 80%, and the good majority of the comments are good. Last week, clicked on my score, and someone told me I was a crook for charging $8 for shipping an 8x10. Now, first of all, it's $6.95. We offer free shipping for over $50. It's okay. His info was misguided. But which comment do you think out of the 8 good ones and the one dude that called me a crook, which one do you think I took personally? Those bad comments, man, it's so easy to take those comments personally. And you just got to take a little bit of heart out of it. You got to look for the information within it. If there's good information that you can use to make your business better, that's great. But this guy obviously was just having a bad day, wanted to text somebody, tell us all about it, and can't take that stuff personally. So number 2 agreement you got to make with yourself, especially in business, the more you do, the more photos that you put out there, the more chances you're going to have that not everybody is going to like you. And that's okay. Take care of issues that need to be taken care of, but don't take things personally. The next agreement is do not assume. Now, I will spare you what my high school basketball told me about assuming. There, you can read it right there. Do not make assumptions. This is so important in communication and relationships, whether it's with your staff, with your partner, with even your clients that you're directing. Do not assume that everybody is thinking the way you are. Make sure you're very clear with your communication. If you're setting up a site, if you're setting up a schedule, make sure that the person on the other end of the line knows what you're talking about. Do not make assumptions. As soon as you make assumptions, you're going to have some trouble. The last agreement in the book is called always do your best. And I'll tell you what, if you always do your best, there's nothing that anybody or even yourself can ask of you. Always do your best. Part 2 of this portrait mode series, I will tell you, I did my best. It was a little bit short, a little bit quick and to the point, and I just want to do better this time. So always do your best, and if it's not quite where you want it to be, get better. Find a way to improve. So that 4th agreement, always do your best. Now, I suggest that there should be a 5th agreement. And that 5th agreement should be always believe in yourself. And that's where we go back to close our eyes and we think about that 8-year-old and how we believe we could do anything. Because let me tell you what I think happens. When you're 8 years old, you believe that you can do anything. And then you go to school and people start telling you things. They start saying, that's not true. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's never been done before. They start saying things that discourage you. And then you take that personally. So all those things they say, you take it personally. And you can go one way or the other. You can use it for fuel to motivate you. But most of us, we go, oh, well, yeah, you're probably right. And now we start assuming that our best is not going to get us there. And now we go from being 8 years old and we have all this belief to being in college, to being in school and feeling limited by things because we listened to what people say. We took things personally. We made assumptions and we figured that even our best wasn't going to get us there. But if you can believe the entire time, I think there is no end to what you can accomplish. When you hang your portrait on the wall, there are so many people who believe in you. You may not believe in you, but there are so many other people, your parents, your partners, the people that you photographed, the people that you've touched along the way, they believe in you. And you don't feel like you have anybody who believes in you in your life. I believe in you. Promise. Call me up. I'll give you some motivation. The people at Photo Day, I guarantee you that they believe in you. The people in the bubble, they believe in you. You can do it. So that's our first lesson today. If you want a copy of the 4 Agreements book, you can find it on Amazon. It goes deeper into each one of those agreements. But I think if you can keep those 4 things at heart, and then you can always believe in yourself, there's no end to what you can accomplish. Okay, the second thing I'd like to talk to you about today is editing. And as photographers, what most people don't understand is they see us out taking pictures and they think things just happen magically. But we all know that we have to go back into the studio, into our offices, and we have to edit. Now, as a busy photographer, you either just got finished editing, you are right in the middle of editing, or you are getting ready to edit. And it reminds me of something that I'm learning with my coach, Ben Newman, about the 4 Ps. Now, he teaches the 4 Ps, and the 4 Ps are simply this: problems, planning, performance, and payoff. In my opinion, it reminds me a lot of editing. When we look at an image, we've got a problem. That's why we got to edit. If it was perfect, we could just leave it in the camera. We could deliver it as it was. So we've got a problem. So we've identified what that particular problem is. Then we have to plan. We have to figure out what we're going to do to fix it. If we don't know how to edit something, how to remove something from an image, or how to change something or to make something better, we go out to the internet and we can find a solution. We can learn how to use a tool or a software to do that planning to make things happen. We can do that planning, but if we don't buy the software, if we don't use the software, if we don't move the sliders, and we don't take some kind of action, that's the performance. That action is the performance. If we don't do anything with it, everything remains the same. And then once we finish that image and we get to deliver it and we publish it and people are awesome, people like it, people share it, people buy it, ultimately off of Photo Day, that is where the payoff comes. I truly believe that you can use this editing process in your real life. You've got to identify the problem. What is the problem? What's happening? What is it? Maybe it's something with your business. Maybe it's not enough sales. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to do something in your life to make a change. So you've got to identify the problem and get real specific with it. If you want to lose weight, it's not, hey, I need to lose weight and eat better. It is, I want to lose 30 pounds by August 1st of 2025. Make it specific, okay? Then you can go in and you can do your planning and you can work on it, okay? So we can do the planning, come up with a system of how you're going to do it, what's your workout plan going to be, what are you going to do to fix it. After we've done the planning, the performance. And man, the performance is like the toughest part. And I look at it as in editing. In editing, if we do not move any sliders, then nothing happens. Okay, you've got Lightroom, you've got all this clarity, and you've got sharpening, and you've got exposure, and all of these different things. You've got to figure out what your sliders are for your life and for your problem. And then you've got to move them. You know, it might be, hey, I've got to cut out the calories. I've got to move that slider down. I got to move the exercise slider up to find that balance. But that's the work that you have to put into, whether it's in your business or in your personal life or in something you do. If you don't put in the work, if you don't take the action, then nothing's going to happen. If you do, you get the payoff. And the payoff is simply proof that everything is working. Okay, you get the payoff, and don't let this payoff linger, right? Once you get a little bit of payoff, let that be momentum and let that start all over again, and then go identify the next problem, and then you plan, you have the performance, take action, and you solve it. Let me tell you where your portrait falls into this stuff, and I'm going to work backwards. When you hang your current portrait on the wall, it represents all of the payoff that you've ever had in your life. There's not a room big enough to put all the trophies and awards and experiences and life's little things that you've been blessed with on a wall. There just isn't. My story about Brody from part 1, that story does not come with a plaque or an award. But when I look at my current portrait, that story is in there. The things that we've done along the way, the failures that we've done along the way are in there as well. But the payoff is in your portrait. You know what else is in your portrait? All the hard work that you've done. All the things you've done to grow your business. Your decision to use Photo Day, or your decision to even be here right now to learn about Photo Day and to use that to get the payoff to grow your business. All the performance, all the work that you've done, all the things you did to grow your business, all the college that you went to, all the experiences, everything you've done, all that work, it's in your current portrait. It also represents the planning. How many hours have you sat down thinking about your business, planning your logo, planning your systems, working on backgrounds to put with your Photo Day galleries, all of the work that you put in on the planning. It's represented in your portrait. And finally, the problems are in your portrait. When you look at that portrait, it helps you identify the things that you need to work on. And I'm not just talking about, hey, I got bad skin, or hey, there's imperfections here. Don't look at your imperfections. Okay, your portrait is not about pointing out imperfection. It is about observing opportunities. It is about looking at yourself and going, you know what? I have accomplished so much, but I still have so much more to do. I have so much potential, so much gas left in the tank to grow my business and to do what I need to do to become a better version of myself. Okay, the third thing we want to talk about today, I just got back from California. My wife and I went out to see 2 of our boys. They are members of the United States Marine Corps. We are super proud of them. And maybe you're not convinced just yet that your portrait has a lot of power. And I'd like to show you proof that your portrait does have power. These are my guys right here. And I hope that when you see these portraits, it evokes some sort of emotion. Certainly when I walk down the hall and I see these, I'm absolutely full of pride. I am a very proud dad of these boys. But we like to say every portrait has a story. I want to unlock this portrait for you. When the boys see this, they understand that this was taken about 8 weeks into boot camp. They were scared out of their mind. They were given 300 seconds to take a shower. They threw a jacket on them. They had a hat that wasn't even theirs. They took their picture and they moved on down the line, and they went right back out into doing whatever they do at the United States Marines boot camp. So when the boys look at these pictures, they kind of have a little bit of a different feel. However, when you look at your portrait, I hope that a current portrait right now would evoke some emotion, would evoke some sense of pride in yourself about all the things that you've done. Now, my boys came home for Christmas last year, right after boot camp, and they said, Dad, it's weird when people say thank you for your service. I said, well, that's okay. You know, it's what people say to the military, and they appreciate you giving up your, kind of your freedom to protect ours and that kind of thing. Just say thank you and move on. I said, well, it's weird because I haven't done anything yet. When someone looks at your portrait, or someone looks at you, or if you look at your own portrait, how many people have you served in your life? At this point, every customer that you sell to on Photo Day, you are providing a service. You are providing a memory. You are providing something for those individuals. And I think we've got to take some time to thank our own selves for our service and the service that we do to others, the service that we provide. Okay. And I love our military, and certainly thank you for every military person. If you're a military veteran, if you're currently serving, I certainly have all the respect, but I do think that we can capture a little bit of that for ourselves. We need to give ourselves a little bit of credit and thank ourselves for our service. Now, we are here on Thanksgiving week, and I do think gratitude is one of the most important things that you can have in your business. You cannot be stressed and grateful at the same time. So you're going into a photo shoot, you're having a rough day, you're stressed out of your mind, just stop and be thankful for something. Be grateful for something. I am grateful for anyone who has taken the time to watch these portrait mode webinars. I really appreciate it. It's something that is a passion of mine. I'm looking forward to the SPAC conference in January and working with Photo Day and speaking there, preparing the seven elements of the portrait mode to share with everyone. and just can't thank everybody enough for everything that they do. And I know the photo day team feels the same way about all of their customers, and it shows in the way they provide their service and the people that are in the bubble and the folks like Wes, who runs the webinar for us and does the marketing. I do think they're a very great organization to work with, a great partner for us, and just want to tell them I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for you, and hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope the holiday is super busy for you.
It is always so fantastic to hear you talk, Jake. It just lights up my day every time.
Well, thank you. You are officially on the hype crew now for J7 and myself. So if we can just fly you out to Vegas, that would be great right before the talk. So I think it's like anything you do, even those of those folks that are out there that are just starting. For me, this speaking thing is very, very very new. We've been in the photography business for 12, 15 years. If you ask me to go take a 40-person league, I can do it. I can't do it with my eyes closed just yet, but it's second nature. But the speaking thing, it does require a lot of preparation, and sometimes I don't have as much preparation time as I'd like because we run the business and have other things we're going. But I think if you can just get better and improve, and I've got my notes from how I want to do things better. From talking, if you can be self-aware and kind of watch the game film, you can improve, and you can do the same thing with your photography. So,
oh yeah. Well, it only brings better things for part 4, which is going to be December 17th. We'll get the sign up for that out soon for everybody who's been tuning in each time. Part 1 and 2 are live. They are on our YouTube channel, or if you can't find the links, just hit up the bubble. I'll get you those. It doesn't look like we have any questions in the chat, but if anybody comes up with anything, or you're watching on the replay and you want to reach out to Jake, his information is right here on the screen. You're going to find Jake is going to be at SPAC in January. I'll be at Sync in February. And if you have any questions in between then and now, just reach out to either of us. We'd be happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thanks as always, Reagan. I appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving, and thank you to yourself and all the other Photo Day folks in the bubble. And we just appreciate your partnership and appreciate all that you do for our business. So,
of course, Jake, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.